Hey, it's nice to see you. I wanted to share with you some ideas I've had for upcoming videos. I want to talk about dream interpretation. I want to talk about the various philosophies and new neurological science, and maybe there's some way of uniting them into like a cohesive theory about how the mind works. I want to talk about body language, and I want to talk about fetishes and kinks, and why we're interested, why we each are interested in individual traits, just essentially what turns us on. You know, even body language ties in with what I've been doing, hopefully getting better at through these YouTube videos, which is presenting myself towards the camera, having better photogenic ability, expressing myself, getting rid of those ahs and ums or whatever, and generally having a better presence on screen. I want to do a video on dream interpretation. You know, sometimes I've wondered about whether there's really a science behind video. I want to do a video on how we can get frazzled by doing a video and then having our iPhones buzzing while we're trying to film something. Now, dream interpretation is something I've thought about in passing over the years, and I had a dream last night where I had been out in the grassy field, but before that I was in a building, and there was some connotation of Friday. I knew it was Friday evening soon, and it would be Sabbath services, and there was somebody there that I wanted to talk to, somebody from real life, from high school. It's not the same person that I've been talking. It's about somebody else. And then we were out in the field and some grass area, and there was water, and there was a lineup of boats with, I guess they're not jet skis. They're, you know, those things you hold on to. There's a handle, and it's a long rope or something attached to the back of a boat, and they were all lined up, and this woman that I knew from high school had a friend, in the dream anyway, and I was trying to tell the friend that this person is somebody I knew, and I wanted to tell the person from high school, here I am, and I'm much braver, and I'm much more outgoing than I had been in high school. And so I was trying to tell her that, and I went over to the lineup with the boats, and I picked up one of the handles, I don't remember what you call it, trying to show her that I was braver than I had been in high school. And there's something that's reoccurred a few times. This is turning into the actual video, I guess. Something reoccurring in a dream. Have you ever had this where you can tell the date is approximately the forthcoming day? In other words, you're asleep and then there's a forthcoming day, and the dream seems to be set in that forthcoming day. Maybe it's just me, but I can tell there were longings in the dream, and I think I know some of what generated that dream. The previous day, the previous evening, I was working my evening job, and I was thinking about another person that I wanted to talk to, and I was sad about that other person. And I remember there was some guy earlier who had reached out to me sometime back in April, and I was so proud of somebody I'd gone to school with, and I was so enthusiastic and so proud of this YouTube channel I had created that I wanted him to reach out to her, and I wanted her to say how proud she was of me for the YouTube channel, and things didn't really work out. And this other person from the dream was somebody else that I had a crush on, and I wanted to reach out to her too, and I've never been able to reach out to her. I probably haven't even spoken anything to her since middle school. I guess maybe high school, early on, sophomore year or something in high school. So the way our minds work, I guess we have these memories that take interesting forms. Why was I out in the field like that? Why? What did the water represent? Maybe it's exploration, maybe it's freedom. And why did those things appear in my dreams the way they did? It's sort of like movies. I think of movies and film, same thing. I think of film as something as akin to dreams. You know, you have probably messages and longings and urges, and then they have to become embodied through avatars, and there's probably something that helps generate the forms of those avatars. But underlying it are certain urges and thoughts and wishes and fantasies. So I want to explore that, and I want to explore body language. Animals, it's said animals, I think, create more communication through body language than they do actual speech. I don't know how much veracity there is in that, but I can understand, even in human beings, we probably give off more human body language than we do actual speech. And what was the other? Unifying. Unifying all these different theories about the mind. Yesterday morning at work, in my morning job, I was thinking of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I was thinking of the internal family systems model by Dr. Richard Schwartz. And I was thinking about Nietzsche. I'd done a video pretty recently. I think it was my last video before this one, about Nietzsche and Star Wars and concepts that this German philosopher had. Unfortunately, the Nazis had taken those ideas and twisted them and corrupted them into propaganda. But I think he had some interesting ideas about the slave mentality, population, what values it holds at a high level, and what values are precious to the master mentality population, and that the two clash. It's something like, if you've ever seen the 1984 film Revenge of the Nerds, it's like the jocks and the nerds. Not so much that the master has control over the slave, it's that the jocks or the masters and the nerds or the slaves each have their own individual values that they hold above all else, and that those are contradictory to each other. And that's where you get into tension. I was thinking about that, and I was trying to figure out how they can fit together all these different theories and concepts into an understanding of the mind and the principle of the generational archetypes. There are four, there's one concept, there's one theory out there that there are four archetypes, and then they repeat through history, these four archetypes. I can't remember them offhand. In out of order, it's nomad, it's artist, and then prophet. Yeah, the order: prophet, nomad, hero, artist, prophet, nomad, hero, artist. And I'm part of Generation X, which would be part of the nomad generation. Generation Y would be part of the hero generation, and the generation after that would be part of the artist generation, and these archetypes have certain characteristics based on how the rhythms of time and history repeat themselves. Um, it's fascinating. So anyway, back to the mind. I was also thinking of the dramatica theory and how very helpful that is in predicting, probably predicting how we, as storytellers, tell stories, uh, and that stories themselves are merely the mind trying to work itself through a problem from four different perspectives, all the way through four acts of a story until the climax. I was thinking of all that. I was thinking of something somebody told me about a new scientific news break he had read or heard, um, about how the mind, they did a scan of the mind and what parts are active in the mind, in the brain, and that it doesn't just, certain parts don't just light up. It seems to cycle through all parts of the brain. And I was thinking of dramatica, and I was wondering how neurology and psychology could finally be fused together into one cohesive theory. So I want to do a video on that. These are the interesting videos I want to do. Going back to that dream I had, I'm trying to develop an album, a music album. I haven't sung before. Maybe it'll just be a series of songs that I won't sing, but I will create and have published. I want to perform them. And in an earlier video, I had listed song ideas, and one of them was about wondering if it was just merely flirtation or if there was something more. And it ties in, actually, the inspiration for this was that person in the dream, from real life. And I thought about her again, and I wanted to write a song about like a secret crush and longing to wonder if that secret crush from long ago, how that person is doing, and maybe I can fuse them together, or maybe this could become a new song. I won't mention anybody's names. In fact, I want to be a performer in cosplay, so I cross-dress. So my gender would even be different. Gender presentation for this cosplay would be even different. In fact, thinking about going into singing and going into music was actually inspired by me learning how to fluctuate my voice. So that's where that started. And there's not much more I can say. I just wanted to let this get out there and share my ideas for upcoming videos. And I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you next time. Oh, happy Halloween. Early Halloween wishes. Bye. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot one topic I wanted to share. I want to do a video about kinks, and I don't know the difference. I know there's a difference. Kinks and fetishes and so forth. Basically, I want to talk about why we're attracted to certain things, certain traits, and what seems to turn us on individually, like why some people are attracted to larger people, why some people are attracted to skinnier people, or blondes or brunettes, or certain features. What generated this was, I know I've been attracted to mermaids. Has probably something to do with swimming. I know as a child I enjoyed swimming very much. There's probably some sense of freedom. There's also probably some element of fantasy. I am interested in how what we take to be reality is twisted. I'm just very imaginative and very visual, and it's probably my attraction to mermaids is probably a combination of all these different things, the the fantasy aspect, the visual element, the visual attraction, and swimming, enjoying swimming, and freedom, and so forth. Um, so I want to explore. Hopefully, I can interview somebody. I want to develop this channel to the point where I can interview experts because I only know so much, and genuinely, I'm curious too. Um, I want to. I should mention. I've not been mentioning that I have now made these YouTube videos into podcast form as well. So they should be available on podcast. I haven't checked, but they should be available on, I think, Apple Music and so forth. Look in podcasts to find Introspection with Jeff. Want to be somebody like Art Bell, what Art Bell did with Coast to Coast AM and the paranormal. I want to explore how the mind works. I want to explore neurology and so forth and so on. I've made my point. um, so kinks and fetishes and so forth is not a widespread, probably popular topic, and I think it still has a icky, ooey, kitty, delving into porn implication kind of thing. I want to stay away from that. I mean, it can be fun to talk about, but I want it to be like a serious exploration and understanding about the mind, because I think it's one of those primal drives each of us, we all have. Otherwise, the human population wouldn't continue as a species. So I want to understand it better, and I'll let you go.